everybody, this is another candle. How are y'all doing today? I'm on my way to work. Just wanted to talk about a little something that has been on my mind since last night. You know, all of us deal with a type of addiction. And I know there's people that deal with, very specific addictions. It could be, a type of a substance abuse, or it could be, a sexual addiction. It could be an addiction to a certain type of behavior. All of us have addictions. A big thing that a lot of people don't think about a lot of times is that, sin in itself is a type of addiction. Almost every sin out there I can think about, whenever you ask someone who is a common practicer, they'll say, oh, but, it gives me so much joy, it gives me so much excitement, to do whatever it is that they do. Addiction is not easy to get past. The first big part of addiction that you have to get over is your own pride. Your pride in thinking that, no, I have control over this. It doesn't have control over me. I can promise you that the moment that you have to start giving up things in your life to do something, it's likely an addiction, especially if whatever it is might be a sin. Now, I just want to say, because I don't want anybody to sit here and think I'm being judgmental, that yeah, I have addictions too. I still smoke cigarettes. That's an addiction. It's a bad one. It's bad for your lungs, bad for your overall health, your skin quality, everything. It affects everything. And one day soon, I'll beat that too. But here recently, I came through an addiction myself. I quit doing we'll just say I quit a certain something. And, if you want to know what about my experience with that more in depth, just send me a message, find me on Facebook, and send me a message, and I'll tell you about it. But this certain something I quit, a lot of people say it's not even an addiction. They're like, well, no, it's not addictive. And they're right. The substance itself sometimes is not an addiction, but what you get out of it, that's the addiction. And, I myself, you guys remember I did that video, Thorns and Brambles. I was in that addiction to try to escape from my stress and anxiety. And God delivered me from that because He told me that I don't need that to be free of that anxiety and stress. And He freed me. If you guys go watch the video, I talk about it. I talk about how He delivered me from that stress and anxiety, and I didn't have to rely on a certain something anymore. Well, that's the hard part with addiction. Is I'll tell people all the time, you don't have to quit cold turkey to quit something, and you don't. You can wean yourself off of something if you have to. And for a lot of people, it might be better to do that because your body might be dependent at that point. But whenever you admit your pride and you admit that addiction has a hold on you, you've taken the first step into curing yourself. And now I'll say, there are people who've had addictions that haven't had God, and they've gotten over the addictions on their own. And to that, I say kudos. I couldn't do it. But I think my main point here is just that, especially if you're a believer And if you're not, you should give it a try, because I promise I had results. When you go to give up an addiction, in a lot of ways it's like fasting. So every time that you might feel the need to go do that thing again, to go drink that thing again, to go smoke that thing again, to take that pill again, anytime you have that draw, that feeling like you need to do that, you need to bring it to God. And you need to ask Him, God, can you deliver me from this? Now, a big thing I want you to keep in mind is, as it says in Matthew, we don't pray in vain repetitions as the heathens do. So when you pray for this, I don't want you to sit here and ask for it day after day after day. When you pray for this, I want you to open up your heart and first thank Him for showing you your addiction. Secondly, praise Him for everything that He's done in your life. And third, you ask God to deliver you, and you believe that He will. Not an if, not a but, not a, oh, if only this goes right, or if I have days off, or anything. No. You have to dive headlong into that sobriety, into a dedication to want to stop. You know, whenever I got to where I wanted to quit, it was because I started praying and asking God, you know, make me not want to do this anymore. You know, I don't care if you have to beat me over the head with it. Make me not want this anymore. More than I didn't want the stress and anxiety. And you have to trust that God will do that. You know, if you ask multiple times, then maybe you aren't having faith in the fact that, you know, God hears you the first time, and God will deliver you the first time. But it's only through your faith in Jesus Christ. You know, in the Bible, there was two blind men that followed Jesus, and they wept and they cried after Him. And whenever Jesus went into a house, they followed in with Him, and they said, Lord, have mercy on us. And Jesus said, do you have faith in me? And they said, yea, Lord. And He said, according to your faith, may it be done unto you. That's really a crazy thing when you think about it, because it's like, wait a minute, our faith? I mean, you know, Jesus has all the power, and yes, He does have all the power. But if you don't have faith in His power, well, then what good is praying? What good is asking? It's just like asking your parents, you know, hey, could I have a cookie? Well, if you don't have any faith in the fact that your parents are going to give you a cookie, are you going to ask them in the first place? No, most of us are not. Most of us will think that and be like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother asking. Well, if you've got to ask God over and over again, is that what you're thinking? So like I said, it is very much worthwhile when you want to quit an addiction to set a date, a time, and you pray about it and tell yourself, on this day, I will stop. On this day, I will trust God that He will take this away from me. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it just goes poof and it's gone. No. It's not like that. The desire will be gone. And you will feel a type of rebuke whenever you go to try to do it again. And you may do it again. You know, you may do it once or twice after that point in time when you said you will quit. But I can almost guarantee you that not just because you said to yourself, but because you've been asking God, I can almost guarantee you, you won't want to do it again. So guys, if you're in that position, for one, if you feel like you need prayer, just put a comment down in the comments section. I will pray for you. And I can guarantee you that my wife will pray for you, my mom will pray for you, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple other viewers that will probably be praying for you. And you know, it's not a bad thing to need prayer. It's not a weakness. You know, the strongest men that had to live on this planet went through a lot of trials and tribulations. If you read the Old Testament, you'll know this. They put their faith in God. And God took them through their situations that were a lot worse than anything you or I see in this day and age. So I want this to be a message of encouragement to you guys. And, you know, I'm not any kind of like major teacher. I'm not a wise man, but maybe just a little bit of instruction to tell you this is how I got through it. This is how you can get through it. Everybody has their own ways of making it through these different problems and addictions. But God will make a way through for you. If you seek Him and you look at your life and you start taking out all of the negative things in your life, all the negative influences is the main thing. And you start filling that time that you would normally spend, you know, doing whatever it is that you do, whatever addiction that you take part in. If you will fill that time with prayer and study and worship, I promise you, God will not return your deeds void. He won't. He will listen to you, and He will answer you. Well, I hope everyone has a good day, and I hope this was a good, encouraging message to those who might be struggling. Like I said, just remember, I struggle too. Your pastor struggles. You know, even Billy Graham probably had things that he struggled with. Keep that in mind. You guys have a blessed day.